Almost all the diseases of the circulatory system are somehow caused by bad diet. The main mistake that patients with these ailments make is eating too much protein and animal fat-rich food. Most often, this leads to atherosclerotic plaques on the walls of the vessels that appear by the age of 40 to 50 years. The plaques in turn reduce the blood flow and so increase the chance of stroke, heart attack, varicose veins, and thrombosis. The fact that nutrition affects the health of the cardiovascular system directly has been confirmed by numerous studies. So what products are the most harmful to the health of our vessels? What foods should be given up completely? The consumption of what foods should be strictly limited? Before we move on, please subscribe to the channel to get notifications about the new videos. We're doing our best to create interesting content for you. Products harmful to blood vessels. According to research, the food we eat affects the cardiovascular system directly. So let's take a look at food products that have the strongest impact on our vessels. The diet must be well balanced, since overconsuming of a nutrient, fats, proteins, or carbs can cause the disruption of the digestion process. For example, cholesterol. It's the main enemy of the vascular system, but it does not oxidize only if the body lacks vitamins. That's why it's better to eat meat with vegetables in which the vitamins are contained. So what foods harm the vessels? First of all, these are the products with high animal fat content: pork, margarine, and cream. High-carb foods lead to excess accumulation of glucose in the blood in people with low physical activity. It means thickening of the blood and all its negative consequences. Why can't we do without cholesterol? Actually, the notorious cholesterol is not some kind of hostile substance that gets into the human body to destroy it from the inside. 2/3 of this fat-like substance are produced by our liver and serve the needs of the body, while only 1/3 comes from food. For example, cholesterol acts as a building material for the walls of our cells, just like wax in a honeycomb. The lack of the substance leads to disruptions in the production of our sex hormones, progesterone and estrogen for women and testosterone for men, as well as vitamin D and the hormone cortisol, which keeps our emotions under control. Recent studies have shown that cholesterol affects person's mental performance, memory, and eyesight. So why are we so afraid of it? So the point is that there are different kinds of cholesterol molecules. Good cholesterol or high-density lipoproteins just dissolves without a trace after its task is completed. But bad cholesterol or low-density lipoproteins is viscous and hard. It does not dissolve after getting into the bloodstream, but attaches to the walls of the blood vessels. And in case of constant excess of the substance in the body, the vessels just turn full of cholesterol plaques and so literally clog up. It leads to increase in blood pressure and heart problems. By the way, according to the European Atherosclerosis Society, more than 80% of hypertensive patients over 45 years old have a high level of bad cholesterol in the blood. Both bad and good cholesterol come from animal foods, so all the cholesterol-free diets you may find on the internet are just pointless. What you need is to decrease the consumption of foods in which bad cholesterol prevails. These are the foods full of saturated fats. And don't forget to eat the products that help eliminate the excess of the harmful substance. 5 dishes that clog blood vessels. 1. Bacon and eggs. Eggs just contain a lot of cholesterol, both good and bad, and bacon, especially when fried in oil, butter, or lard, is just a storehouse of saturated fats. So for the sake of your blood vessels' health, it's better to avoid the combination of eggs, oil, and fatty meat. Instead, make an omelette with spinach and tomatoes, or just a salad with eggs, arugula, and fresh vegetables. Number 2. Tiramisu. This tasty treat, which you can find in every single coffee shop in the world, hides a terrible secret. If the cooking recipe is followed correctly, the cake contains tons of super fatty cream and mascarpone cheese made from buffalo milk. In small amounts, mascarpone is good for immunity, but if you eat tiramisu at least a couple of times a week, then your blood vessels probably cry in pain. Number 3. Mashed potatoes. Potatoes are rich in starch, which slows down the digestion of fats, and if eaten with butter or cream, it turns into a cholesterol bomb. Number 4. Pizza. Pizza made in yeast dough and sprinkled with grated parmesan is especially harmful. Aged, hard cheeses are of course good for health, as they are high in calcium and the amino acid tyrosine that improves sleep and mental performance. But it's only true if you eat no more than 20 grams of it at one time. That's just a tablespoon of grated cheese. If you eat more, the cholesterol norm will be exceeded. Number 5. Ice cream. Even if it's of good quality, only milk, cream, and butter, it will contain a lot of cholesterol. This doesn't mean that you need to give up the sweet treat. You just shouldn't eat more than 150 grams of ice cream a week. 5 foods that lower cholesterol level. Number 1. Paprika. Bell peppers are rich in enzymes that accelerate the breakdown of fats and the absorption of protein. So if you're cooking meat, especially lamb or pork, it makes sense to add some paprika. Number 2. Eggplant. The skin of the vegetable contains a lot of niacin or vitamin PP that prevents the molecules of bad cholesterol from clumping and sticking to the walls of the blood vessels. It is a blood thinner which prevents the formation of blood clots. By the way, eggplants may help those who try quit smoking. Number 3. Beetroot. Eating foods like beets that are rich in dietary nitrates may help improve blood vessel function and decrease inflammation, which may help prevent atherosclerosis. Research has also found an association between dietary nitrate intake and a reduced risk of atherosclerosis-related death. Number 4. Pumpkin. No matter how it's cooked, boiled, baked, or stewed, the pulp of the vegetable contains a lot of dietary fiber that cleanses the body of excess fats and toxins. Also, pumpkin is considered one of the most beneficial foods for the health of the liver. Number 5. Linseed. In addition to being highly nutritious, linseeds may help prevent atherosclerosis. One study found that rabbits that ate linseeds after a high cholesterol diet experienced a 40% reduction in plaque formation compared with animals that did not eat linseeds. Linseeds contain an anti-inflammatory and cholesterol-lowering lignan compound whose properties counter atherosclerosis. And here's something really important. To find out what your cholesterol level is, you'll need a special blood test. For the most accurate measurements, don't eat or drink anything other than water for 9 to 12 hours before the blood sample is taken. Normal indicators: total cholesterol. Normal when below 5.2 millimoles per liter. Borderline high up to 6.5 millimoles per liter. High above 7.8 millimoles per liter. LDL, low-density lipoprotein known as bad cholesterol, normal if below 3.5 millimoles per liter. HDL, high-density lipoprotein or good cholesterol, good when it's 1.05 millimoles per liter and above. 7 most harmful foods for blood vessels that clog them the most. Number 1. Table salt. High blood pressure can cause extra strain on the heart and is one of the risk factors for heart disease. Several large studies have shown that a low-salt diet may help lower blood pressure, especially in those with high blood pressure. Keep in mind that certain individuals may be more sensitive to salt's effects on blood pressure. Those who are salt-sensitive are more likely to see a decrease in blood pressure with a low-salt diet, while those with normal blood pressure may not see much of an impact. However, several studies have shown that reduced salt diets could be linked to increased levels of blood cholesterol and blood triglycerides. Number 2. Fats. Cardiologists recommend limiting your daily intake of animal fats if you have high cholesterol levels, or give them up completely if you have diabetes or any heart disease. The best option is to replace them with healthy vegetable fats, for example linseed or olive oil. The most dangerous foods are fat milk, cream and sour cream, fatty cheeses, butter, fatty meats like lamb and pork, sausages, bacon and other smoked meats and pickles, as well as canned meat, ham and so on. Number 3. Trans fats. Trans fatty acids mimic the properties of saturated fats in the body and have been shown to increase LDL cholesterol and lower HDL cholesterol, which may increase the risk for heart disease. The main sources of trans fats are deep-fried food, fast food, popcorn, frozen pizza, margarine, cakes, biscuits, and so on. How to avoid these substances? Read the ingredients on labels. If you find the words partially hydrogenated, put the product back to the shelf. Look for healthy food restaurants and give up fast food. And if you do eat in a cafe or restaurant, then take steamed, grilled, or baked dishes. Number 4. Processed meat. Processed meats such as sausages, bacon, and hot dogs are high cholesterol foods that should be limited. A large review that included over 614,000 participants found that each additional 50-gram serving of processed meat per day was associated with a 42% higher risk of developing heart disease. These products contain several components that harm blood vessels. Saturated fats that increase the cholesterol level, large amounts of salt that increase blood pressure. Also, nitrates that increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases are often used as preservatives. Number 5. Highly refined carbs. Avoid foods that contain a lot of starch or fast carbohydrates. Here are the foods that can cause vascular damage: refined premium flour, pastry and bread made from it, as well as polished rice. Number 6. Sweet drinks. White sugar increases triglyceride level, which leads to weight gain. If you like sweets, then you're at risk of type 2 diabetes development. The disease impairs blood circulation due to the increase of glucose in the arteries and veins, which over time makes them fragile. Number 7. Alcohol. Research conducted at the University of Illinois in Chicago in middle-aged and elderly people has revealed the connection between alcohol consumption and the risk of stroke. Excessive alcohol consumption can damage your arteries. Also, alcohol causes the development of blood clots inside the vessels. Of course, the best option is to exclude these foods completely from your diet. Well, we understand that it's simply impossible. What you can do for sure is to minimize the consumption of bad products or try to choose healthier alternatives. If you do so, your vessels will be in an excellent condition. Are you at risk of blood vessel problems? To find it out, complete the simple test. 1. Are you over 40 for men or over 50 for women? 2. Do you have close relatives who suffer from cardiovascular diseases? 3. Do you feel increase in blood pressure from time to time? 4. Do you smoke? 5. Is your cholesterol level high? 6. Can you describe your lifestyle as sedentary? 7. Do you have excess weight? 8. Does your work involve regular emotional stress? 9. Do you suffer from any disorders of carbohydrate metabolism, for example diabetes or glucose intolerance? Results of the test. Your risk of developing cardiovascular disease in the next 10 years is 0 to 5% if you answered all the questions negatively, 10 to 15% if you had 1 or 2 positive answers, 20 to 30% if you had 3 to 5 yes answers, more than 30% in case of 5 positive answers. This is a very high risk of cardiovascular disease. Folk remedies for cleansing and improving the work of blood vessels. Beetroot juice is beneficial for blood, and carrot juice drains toxins away from the bloodstream. Number 1. Carrot beet juice. Mix carrot and beet juices in 10:3 ratio. Drink 1 glass every day. Number 2. Carrot beet salad. Take grated carrots and beets in 2:1 ratio. Add sunflower oil. Eat the dish as often as possible. To prevent heart diseases, make a beverage from elecampane root, honey, and oats. You will need 70 grams of elecampane root, 30 grams of honey, 50 grams of oats, and half a liter of water. The recipe: sort and clean the oats, wash them and put in water. Boil and then infuse for 3 to 4 hours. Add cut elecampane roots to the infusion, then boil it again and infuse for 2 more hours. Finally, strain the liquid and add honey. Drink half a glass of the beverage 2 or 3 times a day before meals. That's all we wanted to tell you today. On this channel, you will find videos about the benefits of different foods, about diseases and effective methods of their treatment, as well as interesting information about housekeeping and gardening. So make sure to subscribe to Big Progress and ring the bell. Click the like button under the video and share it with your family and friends. See you soon.